Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another video. You guys earlier today saw the unboxing, or yesterday, or whenever it is that you guys are actually watching this video. But I had an unboxing video and I showed that I had gotten and received the Power and Glory Avengers Endgame Walmart exclusive Captain America. So here it is, Steve Rogers himself, worthy Captain America. I'm very excited about this figure. This is one of those figures that we didn't know was coming. Everybody wanted it to come, even though previous to the movie, nobody wanted any more Captain America figures ever again, but then complained because there was no Endgame final battle suit, and then we finally got one and it was announced, and all of a sudden people started finding it that very same night. So out in the Midwest is where it's hit. It's gone to the East Coast, I believe. Down south it has not reached the West Coast, but luckily enough there's a man named Jeff on Instagram. He was able to pick one up for me and send it my way. Much appreciation. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. So I did receive this today and I'm very excited and looking forward to opening this up, comparing him to some other Captain America figures and seeing what we could do and keep going there. So here we see Avengers there, Captain America, not a whole going over there, Avengers A at the top. There's no Build-A-Figure, of course, because it is an exclusive figure. Side artwork looking very awesome of Steve Rogers. We have another view there in his final battle suit. This is the same promo art that we've seen before for everything promoting the movie. Let's take a look at that bio. Captain America, Steve Rogers, prepares for the ultimate battle to save the universe and channels all of his strength as Captain America. Ooh, pretty awesome. And then notice you can't see Mjolnir in there because he's hidden right there behind the shield. Obviously, of course, depending on when this figure was going to release, they did not want to give away any spoilers, so that's why it is packaged behind the shield there. Behind the shield. So pretty awesome. Let's open it up. There is the UPC for you guys. Remember, BrickSeek does not work for this figure. You have to use the Avengers assortment wave because they're all linked together. So all the on-hand counts will include any Black Panther Wave 2 figures, Infinity War figures, Endgame figures, and this Captain America. So I know it's tough, but keep checking those stores, guys. Let's get this opened up. Okay, and just for the fun of it, before I actually take the figure out, you can see there is Mjolnir packaged right behind the shield. So you can just pop the shield off. Oh, there is Mjolnir in there, and yes, and there it goes. Yes, that is a new sculpt, so I will compare this to the previous one that we've seen released a couple of times. Let's get right to it. Okay, and here is the Power and Glory Captain America figure out of the package, and he is looking very good. And you can see I have him here in front of the various different Captain America figures that have been released for the MCU. So we have the World War II Captain America. This was released 2 times, first time being in a Walmart exclusive line for Captain America the First Avenger, and then released again as kind of an extra figure in the Mandroid wave. Then we had the Walmart exclusive Captain America figure for the first Avengers movie, which also got a second release in the Hulkbuster International or UK Hulkbuster wave, best of 2016. I don't remember what year it was. Then we have the strike suit from Captain America the Winter Soldier, Thanos wave Captain America from Age of Ultron. Then we've had three released for Captain America Civil War. We had the 3-pack, the 2-pack in the Marvel Studios 10 Years line, and then we also got a release by itself, and I'm trying to think of what wave that came in. The Giant Man wave. So 3 Civil War Captain Americas. That's the Marvel Studios first 10 years line. Then we got 1 for Infinity War, which is the bearded one. And then we got 2 for Endgame now. So the time travel suit, and now the worthy Captain America. So really awesome. I'm not going to do a whole lot of comparisons. I will compare this figure to the Infinity War because those are the most similar. I'll do some head swaps, and I'm going to show you some different head swaps comparisons. So this masked head with the Marvel Studios 10-year line masked head, the unmasked head with that unmasked head, and then I'll do a couple of head swaps and those kinds of things. Before we get really started into it, first thing I want to get out of the way is we're going to take a look at the accessories. So we're going to take a look at the shield and show you the battle damage, which I think looks awesome, and then we're going to take a look at Mjolnir and compare him to the other Mjolnirs that have been released. Okay, so first up is the Captain America shield. This is the same shield that has been released a couple of different times. So we've had a few different shields. Age of Ultron had a different one completely. The Marvel Studios 10 years, the one that came with the time travel suit, that's the same as this one. And I don't know if other Civil War was the same or not, or the blue one from the Mandroid wave, Winter Soldier. So I haven't gotten that out. I'm not going to take a look at it. I just want to show you guys how awesome the battle damage really looks to the shield, how it, they really made it dirty and stuff, and you got kind of the hits and the scratches and stuff. So I really like the way they came out. It's the red isn't too bright, which I also like. And I know that there's been a lot of complaints that we didn't get a broken shield, but I swear it's because us as collectors, we never seem to be satisfied with what's coming out. We all wanted the Captain America figure. We got it. And now the complaint is it didn't come with a broken shield. I'm happy with this thing. Broken shield, yes, would have been awesome. But the fact that it doesn't come with it isn't a deal breaker for me in any way. Now let's take a look at Mjolnir. Okay, so here are the two Mjolnir figures that have been released. So this one here on the left is the one that's been released several times with Thor figures over the years. The first time we saw it was actually in a Walmart exclusive line for the first Thor movie. A 6-inch Thor figure came with this. Then it was released again in the Walmart exclusive Avengers line. And then we got it in the Age of Ultron 4-pack with Thor. And then we got it in the... what do we get in? The Marvel Studios 10-year line with Sif. And then Jane Foster also came with the same hammer. So you could see the size difference is pretty significant. So they made it much larger, which is nice. One thing, they definitely kind of smoothed it out, whereas this one kind of a little bit of marbleization and whatnot. So they kind of smoothed it out. Some of the little designs on these end pieces came out a little bit cleaner as well. So just overall, it looks good. However, I don't know what that is on mine. So I don't know if that's just a defect in the hammer or what's going on with that. So that's something that I don't really like. Oh, what's going on outside? So I'm probably going to want to get that replaced. It's a little thing, but it does kind of bother me a little bit. So if I can find another one, I'll replace it. If not, then I'm stuck with it and I'll live with it and no big deal. But pretty cool. You can see there, the handles are significantly different as well. This one, these lines on the handle are sculpted in a lot more. They're actually sculpted out, whereas this one, they were kind of indented in. There just wasn't a lot of detail in it. The strap is about the same, but this one's actually a little bit bigger on the new one. And then the bottom portion of the handle, you can see, is a much larger design. Now, one thing that is not as good is this handle is extremely flimsy. So be careful on how you're going to get Captain America to hold this in the pose, because I think the hammer itself is going to weigh it down and you're probably going to see it warp similar to that. Whereas this one, you really didn't get that problem because the handle was a much harder plastic. So be careful with that. Let's look at these head sculpts. Okay, so here are the different head sculpts. So the one on the left are the Worthy Cap head sculpts. The ones on the right are the Marvel Studios 10 years. So this head and this head are the exact same. It's just different paint apps and whatnot to it. Mine was very poorly glued on there. So this one is a huge improvement. But one thing that I definitely want to point out for you guys is here on the chin strap, you see that little triangle section? They actually painted in the skin tone on the new Worthy Cap, whereas on the old one they didn't even bother, and you can see that it's just all brown. So that's the only difference. They are the same head sculpt. These two, however, the unmasked heads are different. There's not a whole lot of difference to them. They are different. So first is going to be the skin tone, of course, and of course the hair pieces are going to be different. This one they actually put in a little bit of a wash into the hair to give it that kind of two-tone effect to make it look a little bit more realistic. The new Walmart exclusive actually does not have any paint wash in it whatsoever, and the hair is applied onto the head sculpt much better than this one was. So I like this one. It gives Cap kind of that long hair look while still keeping it kind of short, so it's kind of a little bit versatile, but it's definitely going to work for Endgame, and I think people are going to be happy with it. Now let's get right to the figure. Okay, so first let's go over the articulation, and then we'll get in some closer shots of this figure and compare him to the Infinity War Captain America. So for articulation, he can look down like so that is good. Cap can look up as well, so no problems there. We get full rotation, of course, and no wiggle room for pivot. Now the shoulders, you want to be very careful because you see the scale portion here, it comes up, so it's kind of a rubber effect. So you want to make sure that it goes above so you can get it and get that shoulder to go up, so you can see that it's going to move on there, so it's not hindering the articulation at all. So you can get the arm straight out like so, full rotation. There is an upper bicep swivel right on in there, just under that piece. Get a double jointed elbow, which works good. You get a swivel at the wrist, and then the hand hinges. So this one's kind of the standard hinge, whereas the right hand, because this is the hand to hold Mjolnir, is going to give you that roll of the dice motion, like you see, like so. So different wrist articulation. Ab crunch, he can crunch down that far, so a good amount there. Crunching back, probably a little too much. And then you get a waist swivel there. You have this floating belt piece that you can kind of move around. Exact same from Infinity War. His legs go apart that far. He can kick forward that much, and you're not getting any back movement. You get an upper thigh swivel there. Double jointed knee, which works great. There is a boot swivel there at the tip of the boot, and the foot is gonna hit. Oop, that's kind of a frozen one, so we're not gonna move that one. Well, ankle pivot seems to work great. So the hinge, ooh, and I want to be careful with it because I don't want to break it on camera. So the hinge, you can get the foot to go down that far, and then up. You can get a little bit, so not a whole lot, but the pivot works great. So there is the articulation for the Captain America figure. Now let's take a look at some close-ups and compare him to the Infinity War cap. Okay, so I wanted to brighten it up. So here we can look close up. You can see all the scale that's kind of really sculpted on into the chest of the figure, and then you don't really get on the back. It's completely flat. But here on these new shoulder pieces, they're there. So the shoulder piece, it can kind of come off. So I don't know if it's supposed to really come off like that, but you could see there that there's kind of a notch in there and then a little peg. So you can actually peg it right back on in, so it's not going to be going anywhere. So again, when you rotating that shoulder up, make sure you're pulling this out so it can go up like that and you're not hindering the motion there. The scales again look really good. We get kind of more of a white color this time, actually, in Captain America's suit, so that is pretty cool. And then looking at the rest of the figure, you get these browns, the silver for the buckles and everything. It all looks pretty good. A little bit of red on the leg here, and then the arms as well. You get the Avengers logo there. I just noticed that. It's not real clean though. And just brown boots. So, looks pretty good. Now, comparing it to the Infinity War figure, because I thought, man, the whole thing's going to be the same, or most of it's going to be the same. But remember, these arms are kind of funky. So the arms are completely new. There's nothing that's the same about the arms. So, brand new arms. This upper torso part of the new Worthy Cap is brand new. The lower torso part, I'm kind of up in the air in because it's got all the same creases and everything. But the big difference is that in this red, there's a little bit of texture in there, but I don't know if that's when the paint is applied or if it's in if that's in the plastic. Because this one, there is no none of that texture in the red on the new one. And then on the back, the blue. So there's texture in the blue on this back piece, but the new one, it's very smooth. Again, so I don't know if that's in how the paint is applied, whereas actually on this, because it's blue, that's sculpt. So it could be a similar mold, just maybe different on how it's cast. I'm not really sure there, but that is the big difference. Now this lower torso hip part, these are brand new. So America's ass there, the new Captain America figure actually gets a new piece. It is not the same as this one here. These upper thigh pieces here are different as well. So those are not the same. As you can see on the Infinity War, he has that red line that goes up. That is not present on the new one. Now the legs are the exact same. So lower legs completely the same. There's nothing different whatsoever, down to the same boots even. So whole upper body, so from here up, I would say is all brand new. So it's just literally the legs that are the same. Hand would actually, no, even the hand is different. So we get a new, let's see, focus. So that hand is actually not the same as the, it's going to be hard to focus in on the hand. So the new cap actually has a new hand. It's not the same there. And of course this is a gloved hand, so of course it's going to be different from this one. You know, Dwight's all messed up and gave us so many ungloved hands. So there's the difference between these Captain Americas. So big difference. I think at this point this is the best MCU Captain America figure that Hasbro has released, hands down. It is the best. Now, I know people are going to be interested in head swaps and those kinds of things, so I try my best to do it when I can think of certain ones. I'm not going to do this head swap right here because I tried it off camera already. No, I don't want to focus in on Age of Ultron cap. So this head sculpt will not fit on the Infinity War Captain America, so we're stuck with this ugly head. Sorry guys, won't work. This head, however, will work on such figures such as the Civil War Captain America, because those are basically the same type of heads, same ball peg that they're using, so these ones can be swapped. I won't do that on camera. The big one that I'm going to do, because this is actually going to apply to the movie, is the strike suit, shield strike suit Captain America. So you can pop this generic head off that had no resemblance to Chris Evans whatsoever. It was just real generic. You can't pop this Steve Rogers head and put it on this one, and there you have yourself a Captain America figure from Endgame, because he did wear this suit when they first went to go fight Thanos at the beginning of the movie. So that works out quite well. I did try to put this head onto the 2012 Avengers figure. The head does not fit on this guy, so I'm not even going to try it. So it would have been cool to have this suit with the new Captain America head, but unfortunately it just does not work. And then on the quantum or time travel suit, the head will be able to get it to fit, but you got to warm up this head, kind of warm up that ball peg, and then force it onto the ball peg, which will then stretch out the plastic slightly on this one, causing this head to not fit properly back onto this body of figure. So that's something that you're going to want to do at your own risk. That's not something that I do with my figures. So if you did want this head on this suit, which would be accurate to the movie, even though the suit's not accurate, you can do that as well. So here is the worthy cap figure, looking awesome. One thing that I'm going to show you guys before we go is I'm going to show you this Captain America up against Thanos as a good size comparison. So we'll get right to that to close out the video. Okay, and so here is Captain America next to Thanos, and I think that size comparison between the two does look pretty good. So you can see a major size difference between them. So there is my review. Let me know, guys, what you guys think of the video in the comments down below. Hit that thumbs up if you guys like the video. Let me know if you're going to be picking up this Captain America figure. And then also, let's kind of get it going as far as trying to find this figure, which area you're from, or if you found it in store. That way, hopefully, people can really get their hands on it, because we know with Walmart exclusives, it's ridiculous to try and get and can be extremely difficult at times. So let's get those going down in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, thank you guys for watching. And just for fun, as we close out, I was trying to do a little something, but it's so hard to try and do this. I would need a stand to get him up to hit him, but that's the best I can do. It is what it is. Thanks, guys.